Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about inter-VLAN configurations, let's look at some of the troubleshooting techniques that we need to look at because the configurations could possibly be set up wrong. When you're using the legacy routing model, you need to ensure that the switch ports that connect to the router interfaces are configured with the correct VLANs. When you need to use the switch port access VLAN and the VLAN number command to correct any erroneous VLAN port assignments. Also, you need to ensure that the router is connected to the correct switch port. When using router on a stick, you need to ensure that the switch port connected to the router is configured as a trunk link. And remember, we do this with switch port mode trunk. So here you can check your configurations. You can do show interface. This one we're going to do show interface fast Ethernet 04, and then you give the command switch port so that you're just looking at the switch port. We see here that the name is FA04. The switch port is enabled. The administrative mode is static access, and you have access mode to VLAN 1. We can verify our router configurations also with router on a stick configurations, and a common problem is assigning the wrong VLAN ID to the sub interface. So make sure that your sub interfaces match up correctly. The show interface command can help detecting this problem, and if this is the case, use the encapsulation DOT1Q and then the VLAN ID number interface command to fix the problem so that it's assigned to the correct one. Some of the errors that you see with IP address and subnet mask when using legacy inter-VLAN routing: ensure that the router has the correct IP address and mask for the interface connecting to the switch. They have to be within the same subnetwork. Also ensure that the network devices are configured with the correct IP address and mask. If the router, the IP address command can be used to fix any IP addresses that have been assigned incorrectly. With the PC, you need to refer to the installed operating system documentation to properly change your IP configs there. Typically that's under your network settings. Also, you're going to verify your IP address and subnet mask to make sure that you have it set up correctly. Do your show IP interface command. You can do the show running config, and in the show running config you'll see your IP address and the subnet mask that you've assigned to it. You can also make sure that at that point that the interface is up and up. Although configuring sub interface IDs to match the VLAN number makes it easier to manage inter-VLAN configuration, it's not a requirement. So when troubleshooting addressing issues, ensure that the sub interface is configured with the correct address to that VLAN.